Hello everyone, my name is Trent Atkins and I am the professor for CNI 520 Educational Research. I'm just doing a little video introduction. I try to do video overviews each week, and every year I think, oh, I should do these generally so I can reuse them every year, and it never works out. So I like to do it. I'm trying to figure out my frame here. I like to do it this way because it keeps me on top of the course, and it's not it's not a canned course that I'm not paying attention to. So welcome aboard. I'm glad to have you. Always glad to have people from a variety of departments in this course. This week we're just going to focus on introductions, make sure everybody's comfortable with Moodle and up and rolling, and then next week we'll be diving right in. You'll see on Moodle that I've posted the syllabus and the calendar. I've also posted a frequently asked questions thread where I ask you to post general questions about the course so I can answer there, and that allows me to answer once and not field tons of emails. On the subject of emails, I get a lot of them, of course, as most of us do at this point, I guess. But if there is a time where you email me and you don't get a response, don't hesitate to email me again. Sometimes I need the prompt because, it's just hard to keep up, and if it's really pressing for you, then email me again. Phone is not the best. I don't even really publish my phone, but email is best. And if you ever need to talk, I have no problem. Just send me a number and I'll call you, and we can talk. So, so this course is it's a big course. I'm trying to get better at teaching it. I've taught it a bunch, and this is my 13th year at the University of Montana, and this is one of the courses I've always enjoyed teaching, but I think maybe I've learned the hard way, and maybe I'm a little dense in realizing that it's maybe not people's favorite course, because sometimes, and just so you know, I'm a tenured full professor, so I'm not trying to cook the books on my evaluations, but sometimes no matter what I do, my evaluations are not that great in this course. And sometimes I think it's the content part of it, and I'm not an excuse maker, so I'll share with you my goals personally, is providing timely feedback on assignments, and which is going to be extra challenging this year for me, because there are more students in the course than ever before. We try to keep our graduate courses at 20, and as of right now I believe there are 27 in this course, because we're just trying to accommodate as many students as we can. So on one hand, I ask you to be patient with me. On the other hand, I need to be more timely in providing feedback. It is going to change. I am going to change how I do some aspects of the course. I really like to do more essay-based assessment, but I think I am going to revert back to doing some multiple choice, which helps provide timely feedback, if not real-time feedback. So one of my areas I work on is assessment, so it is something I try to pay attention to, and one of the biggest ideas about assessment is that it's quick and timely and useful. So the course covers a wide variety of topics, and I really like the activities I have set up with the course. I've worked really hard on that over the years to make them very realistic, to where when you complete an activity that I have in this course, I hope that you've gained some knowledge and some skills that are actually very applicable, but it's not just reading. I actually just use the text. Some people I add other readings, but I used to post a PowerPoint every week, and I just don't do that anymore. I expect you to read the textbook and be able to use that information to do the activities. And like I said, I really like the activities that I've developed. Some of them are going to cause you to, get be on the move and do some stuff and really do some critical thinking. So I think that's the point of graduate school. So now have fun with them. I know that might sound nuts, but really have fun with them. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself, which is what I hope you'll do on the thread for this week. Like I said, this is my 13th year here. I've been around a while. I did my PhD at the University of Oregon. Finished that in 2003. I did my master's degree at Wright State University. I don't even know when I finished that. I guess around 2000. And I actually studied more along the lines of sociology for that degree. It was called Applied Behavioral Sciences. Interestingly, and maybe timely, I studied, hold on. My bachelor's degree is from Ohio State, and it is in special education. So is my PhD. And I've studied at Ohio State. My license was in learning disabilities, and I added other licenses over the years. But in my master's degree, I actually studied militia groups. So the group that has been occupying the place in close to Burns, Oregon. I'm pretty familiar with their ideas and have always followed that kind of news quite closely. Just something I was really interested in when I was an undergrad is when the Oklahoma City bombing happened. So I really started studying militias, and it's something I do it for a hobby still, just for fun. So just a little tidbit about me. So my research over the years has focused on a couple broad categories. I started actually when I was studying militias during my master degree. I decided I wanted to get back into education because I had kind of been disheartened with education after my first teaching experience in special education. You might hear more about that as we move through the course, but I kind of wanted to study something else. So I started looking at sociology, but then I decided that the place I can make the most impact, which is hopefully why we're all involved in our various fields of education, was in education. So I actually started studying alternative schools. It was kind of a nice mix between sociology and education for me, and started studying alternative schools. That continued through my doctoral program, which is what I did my dissertation on, and published a few articles out of that work. Later, once I got into teacher education, I started getting very involved in response to intervention and did a lot of national trainings, trained the whole state of Louisiana, done a fair amount of work locally also in other states, and have written some papers on that. And most recently I've been involved in our own accreditation process, and currently we had a very successful accreditation a couple years ago, and I'm currently the director of accreditation for our college, and I use my research skills a lot in that work. So I've always been interested in research. It took a lot of time for me to become really comfortable with it, and especially writing research and writing research results. So we actually spend some time on that. And one of the really hard things with me, another part of my life, is I'm also a musician and I write songs, so I'm also a creative writer. But it's really interesting when you write research. It took my advisors a while to really kind of beat the creativity out of me. And I hate to say that because, creativity is great, and especially for kids, But when you're writing research, it's not about creativity, it's about evidence and the facts. So I actually enjoyed learning how to be a technical writer, and being able to synthesize information, and that's something we're going to work on in this course. So just be prepared for that. So, the big milestones for this course are completing, a literature review, completing a proposal is the big activity. You don't actually have to do a research project, but you do have to complete a research proposal that I hope will be useful for you throughout your programs that you're working on. So that's enough about the course and about me. As I said, there will be a forum this week where I'm asking you to introduce yourself. If you would like to use this method, that would be great, so that it's maybe a little more engaging for your peers, and maybe a good practice thing for you to do, to post a video as opposed to writing out an introduction. Don't make it as long as mine, or that's all they'll be able to do this week. So once again, welcome. I look forward to getting to know each one of you, and having conversations with you. And if you need to get in touch, please send me an email and we will go for there. So thank you very much.